What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we've done a rebuild on the two teams that made the best moves at the trade deadline, that being the Knicks and the Mavericks. But today I want to talk about a team that obviously stayed stagnant at the deadline, but that's because they have a bigger plan in mind. And of course, that is the Los Angeles Lakers. I feel like every Lakers fan wanted to see their team make a move, and they did not. Of course, they're deferring to the offseason because they'll open up 3 tradable first round picks. Now, obviously, somewhat makes sense to do that, but at the same magnitude, there is the wondering question about LeBron James. What is he going to do? Is he going to go play with his son? Is he going to stay in LA? There's a lot to, wonder about there. So not 100% sure if this is the right plan for the Lakers, but we're going to go ahead and do a video on it anyway. We're going to see who we could target in the offseason, and we're going to just do this Lakers rebuild where we're going to try to take that approach to go get some star with those 3 first-round picks in the offseason. Before we get in today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Comment down below as well any other team you guys want to see me do a rebuild after the trade deadline. If there's any other looming question on a team after deadline, for instance. Another video I plan on doing is the 76ers. Apparently, they have turned their attention to Paul George in the offseason if he were to become available. Of course, they just traded for Buddy Hield. He's an expiring contract. They're still going to have a ton of cap space. Philadelphia 76ers will. Joel Embiid, obviously being hurt doesn't help their case. The buyout market's still looming as well. Rob Pelinka, by the way, was sitting next to Dinwiddie yesterday. So I feel like Dinwiddie to the Lakers is a done deal. So I almost feel like I could go sign him, but I don't even know if it's going to let me. Let's see. Spencer Dinwiddie, if I try to sign him, would he accept it? He declines it for now. So I don't even think I could get Dinwiddie even if I wanted to. But I feel like Dinwiddie to the Lakers is probably going to happen today before this video's out. If he's not on the team, that's why I can't sign him. But regardless, like I said, the looming question is LeBron James going to stay in LA, or is he going to go play with his son wherever he is drafted? And if he is going to go play with his son, it definitely makes this approach a little bit more interesting because obviously you didn't have a ton of time to waste. This is still a good roster. It just isn't clicking at the moment, but I assume they'll get things together. D'Lo's been playing great, played out of his mind last night against the Pelicans. But what we're going to do is simulate, obviously, the rest of this season. We're going to let this team ride it out and see what happens this year. And then once we're in the offseason, of course, we're going to go make our move for a star. And the stars that have been listed are like Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, and Trae Young, apparently, just from a Bleacher Report article that I've seen. So let's go ahead and simulate this. We can go see if we can go get one of those stars in the offseason, and we'll see if we can win a championship this year with LeBron. And is LeBron going to stay is the biggest question of all. So season that one comes to an end, and it's the same awards we usually see at this point. So it's going to go ahead and skip right past that. We have LeBron and AD making both an All-NBA second team, which is great. Let's get straight into the play-in because we are a play-in team as the 10th seed, which is very, very disappointing, of course. We had 25 points from LeBron, 23 from Anthony Davis, 17 from D'Lo, 15.5 from Reeves, and 11 from Rui Hachimura. So do we get out of the play-in? We do not. We get eliminated in round 1 of the play-in, which does not feel fantastic, of course. But let's go ahead and some of these playoffs and let's see what we can do, or let's see who's going to win the championship because we're not doing anything. Obviously, we got eliminated. So the Mavericks with their new additions, Gafford and PJ Washington, make it all the way to the finals, and they won the championship. So 2K loves the Mavericks after they made those moves, it looks like. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop, and there's no better time than right now to sign up for Prize Picks. The big game is tomorrow, the Super Bowl, of course. They have a free square on Patrick Mahomes. The way it works is you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. So if you think Mahomes is going over a passing yard, obviously he will tomorrow. And then you can click more on the projection. You can go ahead and pair it with anything you like. There's so many sports to choose from, so many stats to choose from. You can go to hockey, soccer, esports, just all golf. There's so many options. But for us basketball people here, let's say we think Josh Green is making over 1.5 threes today, something like that. You can go ahead and pair that together. So if you want to sign up for Prize Picks, use code Crushables. They match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. And the way I actually use Prize Picks is a data-driven approach. I love DGF's optimizer and correlation tool. Basically, it compares discrepancies across multiple sports books, and it gives you right in front of your face. So that way you don't have to research any of this. So, for instance, a player like this on Brawlin who plays CS2. Over 27. Every other book is listing at 30.5, 20.5, and 28.5. So you're getting a huge discrepancy on Prize Picks at 27, which is why this would be a good play. Of course, there's always NBA examples as well. There's Ray J. Dennis. Not a discrepancy, but a lot of the juice is on the over of 3.5 rebounds. So that's another one. Wembanyama. Here's a little bit of a discrepancy. Under 11 rebounds, every book has it at 10.5. So it's just like that. And then also their correlation tool, correlation, huge edge in fantasy sports. If you've been using this tool since August 18th, you'd be up 801.6 units. Basically, it gives you a game script and you put it in. So, for instance, if Brock Purdy and Mahomes are throwing over their yards, then more than likely their receivers are going over. So, if X happens, Y is bound to happen as well. So, we're going to check out any of these tools or price picks. All links are down in the description below. But let's get back to the rebuild. Let's go trade for a superstar for the Lakers. So first step is, of course, making sure LeBron James doesn't retire, and he's not going to. So that's a great start. I don't think he'd want to retire after being eliminated from the play-in either. So we are going to have a lottery pick, or no, we're not. It's going to the Pelicans, of course. Hopefully that doesn't jump up to like top 5 or something. It doesn't, stays at 12. So we missed out on the 12th pick, which sucks. Would have been a great asset to use, of course. Darvin Ham, I mean, I assume if you got, if you got eliminated in the first round of the play-in, you're probably getting bounced if you're Darvin Ham, but the coaching pool right now is not great, so I'm going to leave him for now. I'm sure almost every Lakers fan does want him gone. That's all I've seen on, X or Twitter, whatever you call it. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of Lakers fans don't like him. They did win last night, but let's go to draft night, and let's go make this trade for a superstar. Don't know who we're going for yet, but we are going to try to go acquire a superstar, as I said. So we officially started looking for that new superstar addition, and out of the 3 options that obviously Bleacher Report listed, let's talk about it. So Kyrie Irving, of course, they just won a championship, at least here in 2K. They're both untouchable, so not going to be possible to go get him. If we go to the Cavaliers on Donovan Mitchell, they're rebuilding, but Donovan Mitchell is untouchable. They're not actually rebuilding. They were just the 3rd seed, so yeah, Donovan Mitchell probably not going to be gettable, but the most realistic option anyway, in my opinion, is going to be Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, just off a pretty bad year. I feel like Atlanta in real life is heading towards a collapse anyway. He is also on the trade block, so I think we're going to try to acquire Trae Young for this Lakers team. So let's go ahead and see if we can do it. So Trae Young would be a pretty good get if we can get him. So let's see if we can build out a package that works for the Hawks. So we're going to start with Hood-Schifino, of course, in the trade. We're going to include our 3 first that obviously has been said that will be used to make a trade. So 2K only gives me 3 firsts. I don't think these are actually the 3 firsts that LA can trade, but we're using them anyway because it's the only 3 I have at my disposal. And now we can include a couple players. So obviously not including Anthony Davis. We have Austin Reeves and Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura. So I think we're gonna have to include 2 of the 3, which is gonna suck. I don't think we can get away with just Gabe Vincent in the trade. So if obviously Austin Reeves is someone you probably aren't gonna want to trade, Vanderbilt could be in the trade. And then we can include Rui Hachimura or Austin Reeves. I know Lakers fans probably aren't going to want to trade Austin Reeves. I don't think we can get away with it by just trading Gabe Vincent. I could throw Maxwell Lewis in here. I mean, we could try with no Austin Reeves, but I feel like the Hawks would want him. So let's see if they accept this. Hood-Schifino, 3 firsts, Vanderbilt, and Maxwell Lewis for Trae Young. Do they accept it? They do. So we actually can do it without Austin Reeves in the trade. But we get our superstar in Trae Young, which is awesome. So Trae Young, brand new addition to LA. Is that going to please LeBron? I think so. Trae Young would be a good fit as well next to LeBron. So it's not like we're bringing in a Russell Westbrook where he doesn't fit very well. And no, again, I'm not saying Russell Westbrook, it was his fault. I think it was just a bad situation for all teams involved. It never should have happened. So if there's any Russell Westbrook fans out there, I'm not saying it was his fault and he's terrible or whatever. I'm just saying he wasn't a good fit, and I think we can all agree with that. So Trae Young, and then Gabe Vincent is going to be our point of rotation. We could re-sign D'Lo as well, which might be worth our while just because of how good he's been. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's get straight to player options since we just, of course, acquired the superstar we're looking for. We have D'Lo, Russell, all declining their player option, which is no surprise there. Qualifying offers, Skylar Mays and Max Christie. We'll extend the offers on. And then free agency, of course, LeBron James. So if he were to go play with his son, if he's, I don't know if he's going to or not. None of us really do. I assume he's going to. But for this practice, we'll assume that he wants to stay in LA. Maybe the Lakers draft Bronny. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and try to convince LeBron James to come back for a couple more years. I'll even give him a no-trade clause to convince him to resign. And he still says no to that, actually. Interesting. All right. Let's try that again because I don't really want to lose LeBron James, but it is definitely possible that that does happen. So let's see if we can find a way to convince him not to leave because right now he is headed towards Philadelphia with no remorse. Do we only have to give him a no? Do we have to give him a no trade clause and a 1-year deal for him to resign? Let's see. No, that does not change his mind either. Right now, and it's so weird how we can't offer more money than the 76ers. Obviously, that's not the case in real life. The Lakers would be able to offer LeBron James way more money than the 76ers, but 2K is not allowing me to go over 49 million, while the 76ers can offer, obviously, as you can see, 51 million. All right, let's go one more time. Not 5 years. You're not going to waste time for 5 years. All right, player option, flat rate. I don't know if it's going to change anything. If we can't get LeBron to come back, it's definitely a possibility in real life, but LeBron James is not going to come back. We cannot get him to come back no matter what. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he would leave to go play with his son. So if he does leave, then I guess we'll live with it and just deal with it. It is what it is. But D'Angelo Russell, as much as I don't want to keep him next to Trae Young, just I think that's kind of I don't really know if I love the fit of him and Trae Young in the backcourt together. I still do want to like potentially sign and trade him if possible. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to sign and trade him to another team, and that's probably what we'll use Russell for. So I'm gonna give him I don't know if a team can commit to him for that long. I'm gonna give him a 2-year 18.5, and let's just go through the motions. LeBron James, if he falls out, of course I'll be happy to resign him, but we'll see if he does. He does not. He commits to Philadelphia. So obviously that gives Maxey the highway, or Maxey is here now, but we're going to go trade D'Lo now and see what we can get for him. So we're going to sign and trade D'Lo to the Miami Heat for Nikola Jovic and Duncan Robinson. It's not the most ideal trade in the world, but I'm going to see if I can squeeze a first out of them as well. They want Mark Mitchell in a second. They'll give me Orlando Robinson. We'll go ahead and do that trade. So D'Lo is going to go to the Miami Heat. That gives us some depth that we definitely needed. We had no depth at all. We didn't even have a starting power forward at the moment, which is not ideal. Obviously, I don't want to start Nikola Jovic whatsoever. I just don't. But we needed some depth in the worst way possible. Losing LeBron James was a nightmare scenario. Not really what I wanted, of course, but it happened, and we have to live with the results of that. So, as far as who we're going to get to be the backup 5, we have, like, no money to work with, unfortunately. So, we're going to have to really, really get creative here to put out a bench. Losing LeBron James just gave us a huge hurdle. As far as who I want to start the power for next year, not really a ton of good options. I'm going to start. I wouldn't be mad starting Rui Hachimura next year. Maybe we do have to start Nikola Jovic. We have Simone Fontecchio here, who's restricted. Torian Prince, who was in LA last year. Terrence Davis. I'm going to go ahead and sign Simone Fontecchio if possible. Probably our best option, which is sad, but it probably is. And then we're going to have to wait till day 12 to see if we can convince somebody else to sign like a minimum on it with us. So let's see if we could do that. So day 12, let's see if we can get anybody to take a minimum to come play for us. So obviously we have a backup point guard, I have a backup 2. We have a backup 3. So technically we don't have a backup 5 and a backup 4, but we might get creative with those positions. So backup 5, Christian Wood, Mo Bamba, Luke Cornett, Precious Achua. If we can get Achua to sign here, that'd be awesome, but I doubt it. He declines, of course. Christian Wood or Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba, of course, played in LA at one point for a little bit, not very long. Sadiq Bey, probably going to say no to that. That'd been a steal if we could get him. Derek Jones Jr. wouldn't be too bad of an addition. Javonte Green, Kyle Anderson. Derek Jones Jr. would be my dream scenario if we could get him, but I doubt it's going to let me sign him, but we'll see if we can on a minimum really quickly. Man, losing LeBron James was not what we wanted at all, which just happened. So, minimum contract. I don't think he's going to sign that. Yeah, he's not. So, we might have to... What about small forwards? Is there a Torian Prince might have to be our best option, which obviously just played here last year. So, yeah, really unfortunate free agency period. Not a lot of money to work with. No MLE. It's just been really unfortunate. So, I can actually resign him. I'm going to give him as much money as I can because I want to be able to obviously get him back. And then we got Skylar Mays and Max Christie, all them back. I forgot about Max Christie. Max Christie might be a huge brought back. He's up to a 75 overall. So that actually is huge for depth purposes. We move Duncan Robinson to the 3 potentially. Or we can move Christie to the 3. He might even go up. He does. But we'll see what we're going to do. So let's go straight to player progression. We already kind of saw it. AD's down, Doug Robinson's down. No surprise there. We have Doug Robinson's contract we can use to make a trade if we wanted to. But we'll see what we can do. I might have been better off just keeping D'Lo, but we needed depth so badly that I feel like I had to move him, which really sucked. But we'll see how this next season goes with no LeBron. We got Trae Young and Anthony Davis as the pair now. Really unfortunate, man. Really unfortunate LeBron James leaves, but it's definitely possible, which is why I'm just going to let it go and live with the result of that. So here is your starting 5. I'll be running with it right now. Trae Young, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Nikola Jovic, Andy Davis, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Simone, Mo Bamba, and Torian Prince. So not really ideal. I'm going to have to move Rui to the 4. I'm going to play him at the 4. He's just going to have to play the 4. So we're going to move Rui to the 4. And then we'll play whoever at the 3. I don't really want to start Nikola Jovic. So yeah, we're going to run that. Trae Young, Reeves, Torian Prince, Rui Hachimura, AD, Nick Jovic, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, and Simone Fontecchio with Mo Bamba. So if I do stop at the deadline, I will show you guys. I have a feeling this team isn't going to do very good. If you go to the 76ers, the Magic got Tyrese Maxey. What a steal that is for them. Very unrealistic for the 76ers to go all in on LeBron James and let Maxey go, obviously, but it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead, something to the deadline or in the end of the season. Just all depends on how the season goes. So we are in fact stopped at the deadline as we are 11 games under 500. Very, very disappointing season so far. Really disappointed. Just obviously losing LeBron. Big reason why this is happening. But there is a guy I'm going to try to get at the deadline. And that was Bruce Brown. So I'm going to try to get Bruce Brown Jr. at the trade deadline from the Houston Rockets. He would just be probably the best possible player we can get at this moment with the asset pool that we have, which is very limited. Doug Robinson's making too much money. Let's see if I can take a player off them. Russell Westbrook, bringing him back would be funny. Jay Crowder. All right, so let's see if we included. They're probably not gonna say yes to that, obviously. Let's say we included. I was gonna include maybe Nikola Jovic in this trade, but I don't. That might be a little too much money. So let's try this. So let's say Robinson and Nikola Jovic, and let's see what that can get me out there. I just need a starting small forward who is decent. Marcus Smart, Jalen Johnson, and Capella, Miles Bridges, and Nick Richards. Low key might be Mitch Robinson, Mason Plumlee, Mo Wagner, and Jonathan Isaac. Gaffer, Josh Green, Schroeder, DFS, Jakob Poeltl, and Tyus Jones. Definitely some good trades, but this is the one I was looking for, was Bruce Brown. The Bruce Brown I'm going to try to get, and that's who we're going to go for. There were some better trades, but just, you know, most realistic option, I'm going to get Bruce Brown. We get also a pretty good backup center in Steven Adams as well. That helps out probably quite a bit. So Bruce Brown is our new addition. He's going to immediately slide to the 3. He's going to go up at the 3 as well. That's just going to upgrade our small forward spot tenfold. I don't know if that's going to change our season around, but if we could find a way to sneak into the plan, that's all I'm asking for at this point. So Trae Young, Reeves, Bruce Brown, Rui Hachimura, AD, Steven Adams, Gabe Vincent, Mo Bamba, and Fontecchio. We're going to string this to a 9-man rotation as well. And it might not be the worst idea to maybe make another move. Adams is our backup 5 now, which I'm cool with for the rest of the season. If we moved Mo Bamba and like Prince, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I will take pretty much anything. Ayo Dosunmu. We trade a 2nd round pick for Ayo Dosunmu. 39% shooting from 3. I'm cool with that. I think that gives us a huge upgrade as well. So we do that, and that upgrades our bench a little bit. So Ayo Dosunmu, that gives us a 9-man rotation of Steven Adams, Gabe Vincent, Ayo Dosunmu, Simone Fontecchio, and then yeah, so I actually like those improvements quite a bit. And then of course, if the season doesn't change, we will more than likely trade Darvin Ham. Gabe Vincent becomes an expiring contract in the offseason, so we can use that at that time. Well, we won't trade him right now. So 20 and 31. Let's see how far back we are from being a play-in team. We are 4 games back, so we have to have a huge run towards the end of the season. We'll see if you can do it. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. So we did not get the results we wanted whatsoever. We unfortunately get just shelled. We did not make the playoffs at all. Not the play-in, nothing. We are a lottery team, and our pick is obviously heading to the Hawks because of it. So Cavaliers, Grizzlies, Cavs going to win the championship. You know, Evan Mobley wins Finals MVP. So LeBron James is going to retire a 76er. There's no point of me even trying to change that. I can't re-sign him, or I can't go get him anyway, even if I wanted to. So whatever. Our pick is going to be projected to be in the top 4. That's tough, man. I just traded a top 4 pick for Trae Young, and it's going to end up at number 2. Man, how bizarre is that? Yeah, that sucks. That sucks really badly. But we're going to fire Darvin Ham to start things off. Don't know if that's going to change our luck, but obviously a much better head coaching pool here. So Joe Mazzulla, I had to pay him a little bit more money, and I didn't do it. Will Hardy is someone I always get. I'll get Taylor Jenkins today and see if that changes our luck around. So we'll get Taylor Jenkins to be our head coach here in LA. And then we'll get maybe the Wizards head coach to be our assistant. He says no, actually, so never mind. Let's see if we can get Irving to be our assistant, maybe. So Irving's going to sign to be our assistant. And then post-D coach, we get Owen. So decent coaching staff we started with, so that's great. Let's go straight to player options because we don't have our draft pick, which really sucks. And that pick, just not having that really sucks. So player options, nothing going on there. And then qualifying offers, you have Robinson and Christie. I'm going to resign Christie because we don't really have much else to, roll with. So Christie, going to resign him to a deal. And then do we have money to work with? We have a little bit. So Caruso, we can bring back. Kevon Looney is going to be my center get. So we're going to get Kevon Looney to be our backup 5. That's going to help out a ton. So Adams, I was going to resign, but he's probably going to regress. And now we're, left with not being able to do too much. All right, so Gabe Vincent, going to try to move him. Ayodosumu, great get. Feel great about that. Simone Fontacchio, and then we're going to move Max Christie to the 3. He goes up. We're going to play him at the 3. We are going to try to make it to where Bruce Brown is coming off the bench, possibly. So we'll move Bruce Brown to the 2. Ayodosumu to the 1. Be our backup point guard. So we'll do that. We'll have those two switch over. So it'll be Ayodosumu, Bruce Brown. So basically what I'm looking for is a different starting small forward, or a different forward in general. We'll see if we can accomplish that with some of the assets we have left. We don't have a ton, but we're going to do our very best. So now I'm going to turn my attention to Miles Bridges and see if we can get him off the Hornets. He might be my best forward that I could possibly get to upgrade this team. So I'm going to offer Gabe Vincent, Simone in that 2028 Miami pick. See what they say. They agree. So we get our forward. That's going to upgrade the roster massively, which is nice. And now we can move Rui Hachimura back to the 3. So he goes up, and that's probably our best way of making this a somewhat contender next year. Will it be? We'll see. But we've done our best. We've done our best what we could do. Not a lot of assets to work with. Not a ton of things to work with. But AD is down. You got Christie up, which is great. Rui Hachimura is up. Everyone else is the same, which is nice. So hopefully going into next year, this team is just going to be a locked and loaded playoff team. If it's a championship team as well, I'll take that. But at this point, I just want to make the playoffs because we have not even done that once yet. So let's just make the playoffs. We got a new head coach. We got a new starting power forward. We got a lot of new things here. Bench is a lot better. Looks a lot better. We're going to go 9-man rotation, shrink the bench utilization down like crazy, like a 40. And we are going to run with this. And we are going to hope and pray that this ends up being a playoff team. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. Hopefully smiling and in the playoffs. So at the end of year number 3, we finally just make the playoffs, which at this point was all I wanted. If we just end up as a playoff team, that's fine to me. AD makes it All-NBA first team, 26 and 14, 2.5 blocks, or almost 3 blocks, as you can see. Trae Young does not make an All-NBA team, but All-Defensive first team. We should have AD on here. We do, which is great. So we are the second seed in the West, so we finally made the playoffs without LeBron, which is great. Here are your end of the season stats, 26, 23, 16, 15, and then 10. So here goes nothing. We get the Phoenix Suns in round 1, who of course have Durant, Beal, and Booker. Nurkic still there. They got Isaiah Nasir, Little, Shake Milton, Cameron Payne. So a very, very good Phoenix Suns team still. But hopefully that results in us getting out of round 1, and we are going to beat them in 5 and get out of round 1. So now we get to Minnesota. That's Chris Dunn back. He is their starting point guard. Chris Dunn started his career in Minnesota. Is that correct? Yes, he did. Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Cat, Gobert, Isaiah Jackson, Gary Diaw, and Leonard Miller. So their bench is a little sus, but somebody come around against them. We are going to be in an even series with them so far. Let's go to game 5 in a simcast scenario, and let's see if we can take them out here and get to a game 5 with a victory, or game 6 with a victory, and we barely just win. Wow, at the very end. We must have hit a game winner because that was literally just at the very end there. But they want to fix the rotation up. Don't know what that means. They want to start Max Christie over Rui Hachimura. I feel like Rui Hachimura is very, very not rated correctly in 2K. He just goes down like crazy, it feels like, and just never is respected. But we might be going to game 7, unless if we come back in this one and win it, which it's close, but we do lose. We're going to a game 7. All right, game 7. Do they still want to start Max Christie? They do. All right, let's see if that results in us winning this game 7. Hopefully we can just blow them out here. So first quarter starts off really good, but does not mean we've won this game just yet. They are getting closer and closer. We have a really good lead, and it looks like we are going to beat them 92-107 to get to the Western Conference Finals. But of course, we run into none other than the final boss, that being the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have Isaiah Collier off the bench. Probably going to lose to the Thunder, I just assume, but we'll see what happens. I'll fix rotation again, see if they want to do anything. Nope. Game by game, down 1-0. We lose by 5. Game 2, we even it up, 123-108. 29 from Trae Young to win that one. Game 3, 2-1. Okay. Oh man, I was about to say if we go up 3-1 against the Thunder, it'd feel really good. But we are going to go to probably have to win a game 7 because we are going to lose this one. So we lose game 5. Now to go to a game 6 in LA. Can we come out here and win it to force a game 7 is the biggest question at hand. And it's not looking good for us, ladies and gentlemen. We might be going home here. We're down like 11. And we got to really dig deep to get back in this game, which we are slowly doing so. But the Thunder are definitely running away with it a little bit. So at the end of the day, what happens when you lose LeBron James? You're not probably going back to the finals. So yeah, LeBron was supposed to be part of this video, but he did leave us ultimately, and that was a realistic possibility. So I ran with it, but we are going to end it on that note. Chet Holmgren and Jimmy Butler is your finals MVPs. We got back to these conference or to the Western Conference Finals. At least that is cool. But yeah, ultimately does not end in a championship. But regardless, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely going to be interested to see what the Lakers do in the offseason. If I could have had LeBron stay, probably would have won a championship, but fortunately, he decided to go to Philadelphia. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.